Welcome to my XJ 750 project. I'll restore and upgrade this engine. At least I'll attempt to upgrade it. I expect that the 931A cylinder and crankshaft will fit this engine, but time will tell whether I'm right. But just a bit of information about this engine. I took it off my bike 17 years ago when I put a 900 engine in it. However, now I want to restore it because this is a number match for my bike, so I think it'll be fun to have it back on the bike, and I should have all parts laying. But you can always follow me on this channel, and I'll try and walk you through this, what I do here. First of all, I just remove the intake rubbers. Fairly easy job. And then what you're gonna watch next is, at least for me, kind of painful, because the bolts on the top cover were kind of rusty in the hex bit, so they keep snagging the bit out of my my screwing machine. So that was really annoying. It took a little while, but I got it off. But as you can see, I've struggled a bit with these bolts here. All the rest went fairly well. I even tried with different bits and different bits holders. And even here I just tried with a bit directly and an impact wrench, but that was not good either. Well, while you watch me take the rest of the bolts out, my plan with this engine is to basically restore it, so all the parts will have some attention, because cosmetically this engine does not look too well. However, I did try it when I put a key on the crankshaft, when I just got it out of storage, and the engine turned just like it was running yesterday, so not seized at all. And the reason it looks so rough is because the first 2 years it was stored on a bike in frame, under top, outdoor, and then I moved and it has been stored the rest of the time in a cold, called not a stable, but you know, we have metal plates and so on, a barn, yes, and it just gives it condensation, moisture, and it makes the thing corrode. So I do have a lot to attend on the cosmetic side of this engine. Well, anyway, now I'm just about having all the cam cover bolts removed, so it's time to remove the cam cover just in a second or two. I use a rubber mallet just to break the gasket, to break it free. And you'll see I use this rubber mallet a few times because it's actually pretty good to give it a shock without damaging the parts. and I'll just remove the covers over the ignition and on the other side, because I want the access to the ignition. Oh, the other side will be later. Anyway, I put a wrench on the crankshaft just to rotate it for you guys to see that it rotates freely. And it was kind of interesting to see what the engine would look inside, because this engine, like I said, has been standing for 17 years, and someone forgot to drain the oil, so it's been sitting with old used engine oil for 17 years. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when I get the crankcase split, but that'll be in one of the next videos. What am I doing for so long? Well, I must have been going for some tools. Anyway, it's time to remove the cam bearings, so we can get the camshaft on. And I remove the bolts diagonally, just not giving them any strain, just taking it from one side, because some of the cam lobes are under pressure because they are depressing some of the valves. Oh yeah, and I forgot a thing before removing the camshaft chain tensioner. I need to take the end of it off because it's spring loaded, otherwise it will just go out. And someone, when doing this engine 20 years ago, apparently tightened it a bit more than I remember. But now it's free. I should have gotten a larger wrench, but I was confident I could do it with this one, and I could, barely. Yeah, like I said, some of the lobes are under tension, so they don't come off that easy, all of them. Well, the cams are free now, as far as I remember. So, time to get them off the head. And then, that's why I got still one of the cam cover, the bearings that were there, so it wasn't completely free yet. Oh yeah, by the way, if it wasn't because I know the XJ engine pretty well, I should have noted where the camshaft marks are so that I could time it again. However, I do know these engines, so I know I don't have to mark it up because I know how the marks are supposed to line up to time it. And you'll see a insert a screwdriver to avoid the chain from falling down the chain tunnel. It actually doesn't matter that much when I'm disassembling the entire engine, but if I only had to take the cams off, it's rather annoying having the chain fall down the chain tunnel because you have to fish it up again, and this is an easier way of doing it. Also, when reassembling it, it's quite important to have something to catch the chain with. So. Alright, time to... I remember what it was. I just loosened up the spark plugs while the head's still on the engine, because it's easier than when it's on the table. But I only loosened them, I didn't remove them. And let me see, I think now it's time to loosen the head bolts. Oh yeah. It's been about 20 years since they were tightened. I remember tightening them and I misread the book or forgot something, so I remember they were tightened just a bit more than they were supposed to, but since I already had tied them, I left them there and it's all good. So, not supposed to have been as tightened, but it worked well. Oh, a little note here. This is my first video where I do a voice over instead of just talking on the raw video as I disassemble. So please let me know if you think this is better, that I give you like a commentary on it, or I just talk as I disassemble. The last is kind of difficult to change afterwards because I only have one chance to film the process, but I can always change my voiceover if I really want to. But please comment and tell me what you like. Or if you have suggestions for something better. If you say better camera angles, well, I kind of understand that, but I haven't invested anything in cameras and so on, so this is actually filmed with my mobile phone, just sitting on a set of stairs. So, and also this commentary is the same phone, I'm just using the microphone, so yeah, I don't use a lot of money on my equipment, but I hope it will do. With the 12 main head bolts, or nuts actually, loosen it out of the way, it's time to remove the two 6mm bolts on on the rear of the cam chain tunnel, and there are 2 on the front that I'll remove right after, so 4 in all. Now I'll go remove the 2 in the front. And now I think the head should be ready to remove. However, I did forget 2 8mm nuts on the rear of the cylinders, which I realize I think about now. Oh yeah, there it was. And now the head should be free to lift off. And now just let the chain fall. And by the way, this is not the stock 750 head gasket. That's actually a 900 gasket, because the 750 has a cased O-ring at the cam tunnel, and I had problems that one would keep weeping just a bit, but I don't like having oil on the external of my engine, so I found out the 900 head gasket would fit, and I could throw away the O-ring. Oh, and now I think I'm ready to remove the cylinder barrel. However, there's 1 8mm nut on the front I forgot, and I think I realized yeah, seems like it doesn't bunch at all, and there's a good reason for that, because someone forgot. Oh, I haven't found out yet. Now I found it. Good. So you have to remove all the fasteners before you can disassemble the engine. It's quite simple, but I just have to remember it. Oh, and I could have cut this out if I didn't want to show you that I could make a mistake, but I thought it should be an honest disassembly, so everything should be shown to you. And now, as you know, you can break the base gasket, you can break free, and I think it's just about lifting it off the studs, but over time those studs accumulate a lot of grime, so sometimes it's hard to pull it up. This is like medium hard, because I am able to pull it up somewhat, but I need to use my rubber mallet to get the last part out. I'm just checking to see that I didn't miss anything, and something should be snagged. So I still think I can lift it, but it just wouldn't go. So I know the last part of it will be help with the rubber mallet. And again, I'm checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because if I miss something and I start whacking it with a mallet, I could break it. So, just a matter of gentle persuasion. Finally it gives way. Like I said, this is only medium hard. Sometimes you need to use a lot of force and penetrating well, that could be real hard to get off. This isn't as bad as it could be. But it still requires an effort. Alright, just showing you the bores quickly. I'll show them later. That there wasn't any marks from pistons sitting at the same position for 17 years. I actually expected there would be like at least discoloration or something, but nah, there wasn't. Time to remove the circlip securing the piston pin in the piston, and this is a task where you have to be alert because they can easily drop into the crankcase. Here it wouldn't be that big of a problem because I'm actually going to split the crankcase later, but if you're just doing a top end job, it's really bad. Dropping one down, you'll be fishing with a magnet then to get it because you don't want to loosen your engine. And the two outer piston pins I can just push through with a socket that's slightly undersized in relation to the piston pin. Remember the cam chain fell down the tunnel, so I have to lift it up before I can turn the engine over to reveal the two middle pistons, because if I don't pick up the chain it'll jam and could potentially damage either the crankcase or the crankshaft. Again, removing the circlip, sometimes they just pop out, no problem. Other times they will give you a little bit of hassle. And this one was, yeah, not too bad, but it have to work with it. This one, however, for some reason, just kept snapping off my screwdriver. But eventually, I will get it. And since the two outer piston pins were just a matter of pushing it out with the socket, I thought I could do that with two middle ones, but I do need to use a bit more force here, so my trusty rubber mallet will come into work again, if I remember correctly. Let me see. This should come, I don't. Yep. Rubber mallet and just hitting my socket. Like that. Breaking it free. Well, so much for the top end disassembly. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough, and let me know if you enjoyed it, and give me any suggestions if you have any for improving it. I'll just show you what I removed and how I laid up, and I plan on going over the head as well, doing the valve job, replacing valve stem seals, and all the mechanical needs to be addressed, and also I need to have it looking better, so the cosmetic part will be a part of it as well. Alright, yeah, if you look in the barrel now, you'll see they're totally clean. However, if you look right at the top, see there's a mark there. That's where the piston rings stop at the top dead center. So a bit of one.